Thursday, both partly sunny skies. High Wednesday, 81 to 84. High on Thursday, 81 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks. February 8th, 2021. Tom Schmidt's here with you, coming to you live from the palatial studios of WOCA Radio, just outside the food court entrance, to the Paddock Mall in the Brick City, beautiful Ocala, Florida. I want to stop people before they get started. Tampa Bay is not title town. But, Tom, they won the Super Bowl and they won the Stanley Cup. Yeah, but L.A. won the NBA and the World Series, so maybe it's shared title town. But a guy that really doesn't care whether it's title town or not, as long as his Bucks won the Super Bowl, which they did in easy fashion last night. Galen Unall from Life South joins us. Thanks to the good folks at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. Galen, that game was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, heck yeah. You know, it's one of those days where everybody's got an opinion on who's going to win. And my phone, everybody's like, Bucks by 3, Bucks by 3. And I'm like, okay, I was hoping that, but I bet with my brain. So I parlayed the Chiefs with the over, or I'm sorry, Chiefs with the under. So I lost that, but I did hit on Gronk scoring the first TD. So that was nice.
Scored the first 2 TDs.
Yeah, well, I didn't bet that, you know. I think we all were. The only way the Bucks could win is if they got after Patrick Mahomes, but they rattled Patrick Mahomes and they rattled Andy Reid. They were running the ball effectively, but in typical Andy Reid fashion. I don't know if they did like a handoff to the running back in the first half, and you know he was just, we're going to throw it.
Well, and I said last week numerous times, if Ndamukong Suh has a great game, Tampa Bay wins. And everybody goes, I told that to my buddies. I go, well, Ndamukong Suh didn't get his name called. I go, no, because they double-teamed him the whole game, which allowed linebackers to run free. And so Ndamukong Suh's disruptiveness to the point where they had to double-team him let running backs run free. And, I mean, there were a couple times where Patrick Mahomes looked up and he had a Tampa Bay defender a half step from him unblocked. Maybe 3 times that happened. And that rattles a quarterback. When you have a big 260-pound linebacker coming unblocked and he gets to hit you, as long as he doesn't drive you into the ground or anything, that in this day and age, quarterbacks not used to getting hit, that rattles them.
Well, and again, which is why I thought they would at least try to run the ball and to counter that pass rush a little bit.
But they didn't.
They couldn't even run screens because of the linebackers. For White and David were everywhere for the linebackers, and that's what I was impressed with. And is that one shot where Mahomes got hit by 4 different people and the Malachi crunch.
Right.
Throw back to Happy Days. He didn't recover.
No.
He did not recover from that. And it was a penalty, and it deserved to be a penalty. But from a Bucs perspective, that was the end of the football game at that moment because that shot rattled. When all 4 of your linemen meet at the quarterback at the exact same time, That's no bueno.
No, that means 5 offensive linemen got beat by 4 defensive linemen is what that means.
Yeah, it was not good. And that was the difference in the football game.
And people are going to say, but his offensive line got crushed and moved around and disrupted on Thursday and Friday because players weren't allowed to play, and you had a tackle that was supposed to be on the left side, it was on the right side, and I say, next man up. Stop whining. These guys are professionals. If the next guy up wasn't ready, that's not Tampa Bay's fault.
No, absolutely not. And I'll tell you, Brady is so good, and we talked about it. Do you defer? Do you take the ball? So the Chiefs deferred. They got the ball the first time in the second half. But Brady outscored them in the first, the last 3 minutes of the half and the first 3 minutes of the second half. He outscored them 10-3. And that was a ball game.
A lot of people say
game right there.
A lot of people say the most important time in any football game is the last 5 minutes of the first half, the first 5 minutes of the second half. And like you said, Tampa Bay won that 10 minutes of football and won it rather easily. My only problem I have, Galen, with this victory and the way it went and all, and I know you're probably going to kill me for this, but I can't get away from it. Shouldn't there have been a way you could have named the Tampa Bay defense the MVP of the game? Just gave the entire defense the MVP.
Well, I understand your point, right? It's never been done, and it shouldn't be done. It's an individual.
They gave up 3 field goals. That's all.
I get it, but Brady, they punt the first two possessions, right? Then he starts making adjustments, and Brady made those adjustments because I was reading from one of the post-game interviews, and the 2 big plays where they scored their first touchdown were improvised by Gronk and Brady and Mike Evans and Brady. And that's because everybody's relaxed on the sidelines, right? Brady doesn't have to do anything. And everybody on the field knows that it's Tom Brady. And everything was calm, and they just started running the ball and executing. And then, everybody contributed on the offensive side, but it was all because of Brady. I'm sorry, you got to give it to Brady. I understand your point, but you got to give that to Tom Brady.
Well, you held a team.
Tom Brady was nearly perfect. He didn't make a single throw that's like, oh, that wasn't a good throw.
You know what it
He didn't make a decision. Yeah, go ahead.
You know what it reminds me of, and this is why I say this. In 1980, the University of Georgia won the national championship. And Herschel Walker got all the accolades because the freshman running back had come in against Tennessee. He had did things that freshmen shouldn't be able to do. He was running people over. They go to the Sugar Bowl. They beat Notre Dame. They win the national championship. Everybody talks Herschel Walker, Herschel Walker, Herschel Walker. The unforgotten point of that Sugar Bowl game is that a team that averaged 31 points a game, Notre Dame, was held to 7 points. Just like a team that averaged 34.8 points a game, Kansas City, was held to 3 field goals. There comes a time when Brady's got enough MVP trophies. Give it to somebody else.
Well, that's spoken like a middle linebacker.
100%. 100%.
Nobody buys a ticket to watch defense. Sorry.
All defense does is win championships. That's all.
I'm not taking that away. But if you're going to give it to an individual on defense, who do you give it to? Winfield played out of his mind. The scheme is what won. The scheme is what won. Because Bowles is like, you can't run the football.
Andy hit that dark patch on his way to Gainesville.
Physical. And so he said, all right, we're going to play our front 7, and our back 4 are going to play way off. Right? We're going to bracket coverage the tight end, and we're going to play way over the top of everybody else. And it shut them down. That was it.
Were you surprised with the scheme when they came out originally, and the scheme was double Tyreek Hill, double Kelsey, with the safety and cornerback on Kelsey, safety and cornerback on Tyreek Hill, and the other 7 doing their business? There was no other player on offense that stepped up for Kansas City. So when they shut down Hill and Kelsey, Kansas City had no – I mean, the only running game they had was Patrick Mahomes running for 10 or 12 yards to get first downs on third down. You're breaking up. You're in that area. He's in that area, no man's land, headed into Gainesville. He's still in that area. There he is.
Wow, am I really?
There you go.
So Arians, after the game, said, if Mahomes wanted to run around and get a first down, we'll let him. That's good for us.
Yeah.
But what they did, and not very many teams have the capability of putting a tight end on Travis Kelce. That bracket coverage was a safety with underneath either David.
Yeah, we lost you. We lost you. So, okay, you said it was a safety with who underneath? We lost you.
It's David or White underneath, and then the safety was over the top. And they were like, we'll let Kelsey get 15 at most. But most of the time, he was getting 4 and 5. It was a great defensive scheme.
Which is why I said the defense should have. So I said the entire defense.
It doesn't work that way.
The entire defense should have been the MVP. So
and Tom would have been happy with that.
Of course he would have.
He was that. He.
Yeah, you're going in and out. Let's take a break. Let's take a break, right. Galen. You're going in and out. You're breaking up real bad. Let's take a break, and we'll try to get it on the other side. You're listening to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. Galen, from Life South, brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. We'll be right back.
We face choices every day. Some are unimportant, some are life-changing. What about the choices you make every day? Take the stairs or the elevator, baked or fried. What if your choices meant you are likely to die of heart disease this year? Palm Garden of Ocala is here for you when recovering from a hospital stay. With Palm Garden's Fast Track program and state-of-the-art facility, we have skilled nursing, therapy, and everything you'd expect for the best in care. Call 352-854-6262 for more information.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
It's Monday. Not sure how you did it, but you actually survived an entire 2 days without hearing from Tom. Good job to you. And once again, good luck.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. The Monday after the Super Bowl, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pull off what most thought was improbable. I thought impossible in the way they did it with a 31-9 victory over a Kansas City Chiefs team that Vegas thought was the odds-on favorite. I will tell you, Galen Unal is on the phone with us from Life South. He's brought to you by Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center and Penn Flooring. I tell you, Galen, I only made 2 bets, as you know. I bet the Tampa Bay on the money line. We talked about this Friday. I took Tampa Bay on the money line at plus 165. But I took the red Gatorade at plus 240, and it was the blue Gatorade at plus 500 that won.
Tough. That's tough.
I mean, blue Gatorade. Who would even think?
Yeah, it's some backup linebacker that makes that decision or offensive lineman. So, I hit with Gronk on my prop bet. I was happy.
Yeah, I missed my prop bet, but hit my money line bet.
Yeah, and I lost the over-under on the national anthem.
Oh, yeah.
My gosh,
went a little long.
Eric Church just kept playing at the beginning. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, went a little long.
Yeah. Yeah, you never want to duet with a national anthem if you're betting the under.
No, a minute and 59 seconds. I knew when they didn't start singing until they were 31 seconds in that you were in
Correct.
trouble.
Yeah.
You were in trouble.
Not good.
No.
Not good.
Not
morning
good.
game. I think if you were to rate this as like the game without it being my Tampa Bay Buccaneers or Tom Brady, I think it was a pretty boring game.
It was, to me, everything. This to me goes down as one of the worst Super Bowls that I can remember in recent history, and I'll tell you why. The game was so-so. The commercials were horrible. And I still don't know what the hell happened at halftime.
Well, yeah,
guys came
weekend.
out with jock straps on their face, and some guy lip synced. I don't know what the hell happened.
Well, when's the last really good halftime show? Prince?
Yeah, probably Prince in the rain in Miami. Or, say what you want, but the wardrobe malfunction wasn't that bad of a halftime show.
That was 20 years ago. 18, 19 years ago.
Yeah, so was Prince, pal.
Yeah, I know. That's my point. It's just not – the Super Bowl halftime performances aren't good.
They're not good.
Well,
remember they had gotten really bad.
Something.
They had gotten really bad, and they let MTV take them over. And MTV did a very good job with Prince, and they're great. But then MTV was also the Janet Jackson one, and then they took MTV off of it again. And now it's back to just some marketing guru or somebody in New York that thinks they know what's good, and it's horrible.
Right. Well, you did say something I completely disagree with L.A. Being the champions now. You got to remember the Dodgers beat
Tampa Bay, I know.
in the World Series.
But that means they lost the World Series, so they didn't get the title.
No. But here's the thing: that means they went to the championship game in 3 different sports.
Still not title town. They're sharing it with L.A.
I would think the tie would go to Tampa Bay.
There is no tie. They both have 2 championships. That's how it's a tie.
Fair enough.
Although, if you're a guy like me, it's only 1-1 because just to me it's football and baseball. The other 2 sports, fringe.
Hockey is too much fun to watch, and it's in the year of COVID, so everything has the asterisk except that Super Bowl because they played a complete season.
Yep.
And if anything, I think it's even more impressive as to what Tom Brady did.
What does that say? What does that say to not only Tom Brady's legacy, but Bill Belichick's legacy? Because now people could say Brady could win without Belichick, but people are now even going to the Belichick haters are going to say, see, without Tommy, he's not a great coach. Remember how bad he was in Cleveland? He would have been that bad in New England if he didn't have Tommy.
Hold on. First of all, Bill Belichick was not bad in Cleveland.
But people remember him. But people want to remember him as bad in Cleveland.
They made the playoffs his 3rd year there, and he was on the brink of turning that program around. And Belichick's not done yet. I mean, he's got to. There's no way anybody who knows anything about the Patriots knew they were going to do much this year. Once they signed Cam Newton, they still have no offensive weapons. So, the Bill Belichick, look what he did with the Giants. I mean, he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. I'm not going to take that away from him.
No.
It's just he had Tom Brady, and Tom Brady is the GOAT of GOATs.
Well, it just shows that no matter how good a coach you are, no matter how genius of a mind you have, if you do not have the athletes to put the process in place, you won't win on a regular basis. I'll give you a prime example. If you ask people in the 1990s and 2000s who was the best manager in baseball, most people would say Joe Torre. Most people, lay people, not you and I, but most people say Joe Torre because with the Yankees and the way they won the World Series in the 90s and the early 2000s. And they always played the Red Sox to get into the World Series, blah, blah, blah. But I remember the Joe Torre of the mid-'80s that coached the Atlanta Braves, that were the manager of the Atlanta Braves, when the Braves were winning 55 games a year. The difference, Joe Torre had Biff Pocoroba. He had Terry Forrester. He had journeymen all over the Braves lineup. In New York, he had studs, and so he was able to win. Bill Belichick was able to win with the best stud in football, Tom Brady. You got to give the man athletes. He'll win again if he gets the right athletes in place to win again.
All right. Coaching matters.
Yeah.
And I think coaching is incredibly important. And I believe it's important at all levels, and it's the most important thing. The two most important things in football are coaching and a quarterback. If you have good coaching and a good quarterback, you're going to win a lot of games. If you have great coaching and great quarterbacks, you win championships. That's just it. And coaching is more important than football than in any other sport. In basketball, you can go out and get a LeBron James, and Tom Schmitz could be the coach of that team, and odds are he'd make the NBA Finals.
Well, he was. His name was called Tyronn Lue. He was.
Okay, fair enough.
His name was Eric Spoelstra. His name was Eric
Spoelstra. Look what Eric Spoelstra did with the Heat last year. Eric Spoelstra's a very, very good coach.
He's a video guy.
He's a very, very good coach.
Video guy.
You can't. Oh my God! So now you're a guy who you have to play the game in order to coach it.
No, I just hate the NBA.
Like Bill Belichick.
I hate the NBA. I give nobody credit in the NBA.
That's on you.
At least I'm honest about it.
But again, I guess it makes you very close-minded.
100%.
But I believe that coaching is incredibly important. There's been countless examples where the most talented team didn't win.
But you say coaching's important.
I see it all the time.
You say coaching's important, and I agree with you that coaching is very important. But let's play the devil's advocate here. If coaching's so important, how the hell did the Falcons make the Super Bowl? They had a mediocre quarterback and a coaching staff that was suspect at best, and yet they made the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that coaching staff at the time was red hot because they were making the right decisions and putting their guys in a position to succeed. I think that's a great example because I think that coaching staff got completely disrupted after that Super Bowl, and they never recovered, even though they had almost the exact same personnel.
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. And
they had the same personnel.
For all the people that say Matty Ice, Matty Ice is not a good quarterback, okay? He's just not.
Well, but he is when he had a guy who understood him, worked with him, and was a good coach for him. I'm a big believer in that coaching personality has to mesh with the player personality. And that's part of being a great coach is being able to adapt your style to your player. And I think that's where Bill Belichick's greatness comes from. His message resonates with the guys he goes and gets. He's going to go get the Kyle Van Noy's and tell Kyle Van Noy, look, I'm going to need you to sacrifice X so that we get to Y. And he's able to communicate that, and the players respond to it. That's what a great coach does.
Well, a great coach does not step on his headset cord and pull it out so he doesn't hear the guest on the phone call. I'll tell you that.
That's going to happen.
But a radio show host does it. Radio. This is a Monday, folks. It's one of those Mondays where everything that can go wrong is going wrong, except for Galen Unal making his call in. Galen making his call in and talking good football. That worked. See, that works. So where do the Bucs go from here, Galen? Brady come back, Gronk come back. They try to redo it again next year.
Well, Brady's coming back, right? He signed a 2-year deal. Gronk had a 1-year deal. AB's had a 1-year deal, and Leonard Fournette had a 1-year deal. I don't know if AB comes back. Because I think he'll go out somewhere and get paid. I think Leonard Fournette is interesting because I think they proved that Rojo just can't hang on to the football. Great runner, but until he solves his fumbling problem, he's not anybody you can count on. So I think they come back. I think they'll be very, very good next year.
And I think the Tampa Bay Rays will be very good next year. And I think Lightning are going to be very good this year.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Red Sox are going to be terrible again this year.
Well, that benefits the Rays. And so
I'm not talking about the Rays.
I see Tampa sitting in the catbird seat for these sporting events for quite a while. Hey, Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Hey, the Bloodmobile today, we're actually at the Lowe's out on State Road 40. So come by and see us, and please just give the gift of life. Donate blood. Go Bucks.
All right, thanks, Galen. Talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Galen Unall from Life South joining us. He does every day, brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. We'll be right back. WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
As our nation has many needs from the financial and economic fallout of COVID-19, former President Trump's second impeachment will consume Washington this week. Senator John Barrasso, Republican from Wyoming, said at this point, there's not going to be a conviction. You can read the writing on the wall, end quote. South Carolina woman, Black Lives Matter supporter and Food Network winner of Worst Cooks in America, Ariel Robinson, had many kids in her foster home. She had tweeted in the past she didn't need to worry about her white kids in the outside world because of white privilege. A recently adopted 3-year-old white girl, her charge, was murdered on January 14th. Ariel Robinson and her husband Jerry Robinson have been charged with violent homicide. Sarah Thomas broke barriers Sunday night when the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers kicked off Super Bowl 55. Thomas became the first woman to officiate a Super Bowl in NFL history. Thomas was serving as the down judge in the game. USA Radio News.
The stress levels of Americans may be at an all-time high. From education to business to basic needs to politics, the 2020 pandemic-related stressors are pushing many of us to near breaking point. That's why you should consider the stress and pain-relieving products from sunny-bay.com, like our lavender neck wraps and pads infused with premium Washington lavender buds. They relieve tension and relax with a soothing scent of lavender. And lifestyle expert Jennifer Bonner recommends products from Sunny Bay.
Sunny Bay's hands-free neck wrap should be your go-to pain relief solution.
Give gifts to family and friends that relieve stress and pain. Give love and care by giving the best. Give pillows, neck wraps, and body wraps from Sunny-Bay. At DB Design Company. Just click sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com.
Discover the fun at Discovery Center. Explore the new exhibit, Chain Reaction Charlie, where you'll design, tinker, and invent new machines. They offer classes, summer camps, and special events like date night, making it fun for everyone. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information, visit www.mydiscoverycenter.org or call 352-401-3900.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Say, have you checked around your neighborhood? Well, even with these colder nights, the azaleas are blooming just about everywhere. That means it's time to come get your azaleas at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. Ocala's favorite, these are ever-blooming red ruffles, still just $3.99. Now, larger semi-dwarf and regular-size azaleas are 6 for $35.99. Now, listen to this. A huge selection of cactus and succulent